US under Trump, who is almost dumping America's 7+ decades allies of the Europe, and in a way harming the transatlantic partnership, but is having a great relationship with India. The promises and agreements made in Washington in terms of technology transfer and different other options that are available in terms of development of India. You are suggesting a path to be closer to India's neighbors, China and Russia and even Pakistan. So you are actually depriving India from that great opportunity that Trump is offering to India. What do you say?
See, you have actually asked two questions and both are very interesting. Let me answer them one by one. The first is that India-America relations. Well, they are important for America, but it is not President Trump's priority. That is the point. It is a very significant point because his priority is somewhere else. His priority is to make America great again. And in that, he has a certain role, which is not a priority role for India. So it doesn't mean that they will not share their technology. What it means is, in very simple terms, they have a great market. All the US big tech companies are already here. As far as the emerging technologies are concerned, which is prominent amongst them is AI architecture, which is the data centers. They are being built here with American companies, tech companies help, total help. And then you have these semiconductors. So all this is happening. But the government policy, the White House policy is not a priority for India. That is point number one. Now, the second question that you raised is equally interesting. You see, when we frame a foreign policy, what we consider in making a foreign policy is things like any country, it is not specific to India. You look at the country's geography, where is it located? You look at the country's history, and you look at a country's national power. And national power at a time like this, when you are looking at a foreign policy in terms of global shifts, it is primarily three things. You're looking at technology, you're looking at military power, and you're looking at economic power. Now, this is a traditional way of making foreign policy. What has happened is there is an opportunity today for India, which is the geopolitical opportunity, which changes your entire foreign policy, the traditional way of looking at foreign policy. And what this means is basically that today, if you see Asia Pacific, what the Chinese and the Russians call Asia Pacific, and the Americans and the West and India, they call Indo-Pacific. This has become the arena or the theater for great power contestation. Let me explain this also, what it means. What it means is that it is in this theater, all the three great powers that I spoke about, they have their vision and their mission to be accomplished. Let's simplify this, move away from rhetoric to see in reality what could be one of the missions. So one of the missions would be that if you see from Western Pacific and right till going to the Strait of Hormuz, you cross the entire Indian Ocean region. This is where annually 4 trillion commercial trade passes, of which China's trade alone is more than $1 trillion every year. So this is where the contestation is. I'm just giving you one example. For example, that whoever has a control or has a good security framework in place for the commercial or the sea lanes of communications is secure. So the aim of in my opinion, the Chinese and the Russians, they are looking at how to make that trade secure. And in my opinion, because the Americans believe in a balance of power politics, in a zero-sum game, So they want India, especially in the Indian Ocean region, to be their military bulwark against the commercial trade which passes through that. So my point is going back to where we started, foreign policy. So there is an opportunity for India. And what is the opportunity? The opportunity is that all the three great powers today need India because India is located so well. It is right in the middle of this contestation area, the theater. Now, if Trump has withdrawn, when I say withdrawn, that means it is not a priority. It is not that India is not important at all for America, not a priority. Then India should consider its foreign policy because, after all, what is foreign policy? Foreign policy is an extension of your domestic policy. And what is our domestic policy for India today? That by Prime Minister's own admission, 80 crore people, which is 800 million people, are below the poverty line. We are a poor country. So our foreign policy should be how to make the lives of these 80 crore people better. Now, if this is what it should be, then obviously we have to consider China. Why has the contestation come? When I say global contestation, why it has come from Europe to our region is primarily because of the rise of China. So when you look at your geography, you look at your geopolitical opportunity, and because Russia also, as you see, now Russia is a huge country. The better part of Russia landmarks is actually in Asia and not in West. And they also have shifted their gaze from West to East. So everybody is here, the three great powers.